I would like to introduce psychic medium, meditation teacher and businesswoman Sharon Goen. Sharon is co-founder of Shambhala, which is a centre of healing, growth and complementary therapies, and that's just in Port Melbourne. So today we're actually going to be talking about anxiety in children. How are you going, Sharon?
Good. I'm great.
She's just saying, I think she's just giving me sign language that I've got anxiety.
Yeah.
Being on the radio. It's okay.
Talking about what I need to
You realise how unprofessional Fiona and I are. You'll feel way better about yourself.
Thanks.
So it's absolutely heartbreaking, I know, as a mother, to think that our children can suffer from, anxiety at an early age, because you think you've got the rest of your life to have that kind of burden. And I know your centre does courses for kids with anxiety.
Yeah, we do. We have a fantastic teacher, early childhood teacher, and she's pioneered a program, and the program is mainly geared to teaching children resilience.
Yeah. So important, isn't it? Especially going through school and everything like that. Why do you think, children are having anxiety these days?
I think the key factor is because we live in such a incredibly fast-paced modern world, and our world is geared around using the internet, and the internet in one way has connected us so much more, but at the same time it's disconnected us.
Yes.
So when I grew up connected to the earth, going out, catching tadpoles, playing with. When I was with my grandmother, I'd sit and I'd watch the tadpole grow its legs, and just the backyard was our life, and playing in the streets. And unfortunately, today you've got children who are. Not only are they from a divorced family, but they're also sometimes living in an apartment. We don't have the backyards we used to. We don't have the extended family. We tend to be spread across the world.
Yeah.
So and the truth is, parents are doing it tough.
Yeah, a lot of parents have anxiety too, don't they?
Exactly. And it's about often children are wearing the burden of society's work ethics that we have, which is we want more, we do more, and so of course children are in the same feeling state of that pressure.
Well,
just as much
it's actually struck a chord with me when you're talking about modern technology, because I've broken my phone recently, and there's a part of me that hasn't wanted to get it fixed, so I kind of have left it about a week. Yeah. What I noticed is that when I take Gretchen to the park, I'm just there with her at the park, whereas normally I'm looking at Instagram, I'm looking at whatever, and I didn't realise how hard it was for me to concentrate on just being with her until it was gone, and I had no reason to think, well, blah, blah's got to call me or something's going to happen. Yeah. And I realised how disconnected I must be with her all the time, and that's what we're teaching them, and all the mothers are doing it. All the mothers are at the park on their phones.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just what society has become, and we all want that connection, but we're actually getting it in the wrong form. And I remember this wonderful man. This was many years ago, before ADHD became very common. He took his son to the doctor, and the doctor said, your son has attention deficit disorder. So he took that literally. And so he went home, and he didn't realise it was actually a subject to his son. He thought he wasn't giving him enough attention. So he stopped reading the newspaper, spent more time with him, and his son ended up not having ADHD. Yeah. So often we're labelled things which has an effect on children.
Yes.
So more in the last 10 years, more children have suffering depression, ADHD, autism, tics.
And so what are the types of things we can do at home? I mean, I know you do these amazing courses, and I know you have meditation classes for kids, which I think is just fantastic. I put it out on Facebook a little while ago looking for, do they do that for children? And
they do.
No one responded to me, and, then I've found you since, and I'm excited to tell people that there are places that they can do it.
In fact, it's become so popular that there is a woman who specialises. She's a teacher and a counsellor, and she actually puts those programs and teaches teachers in schools to implement that.
It's fantastic.
So it's
isn't
spreading, and it's
Yep.
becoming more and more popular, which is great.
So what can parents do it just at home in their lives to help if they think their child might be anxious?
Sure, there's kind of lots of things, and I'm one about all wisdoms are simple. Like our life is complicated enough. So it's about bringing everything back to basics. One of the things that I know just as watching my nephew is about breathing. So I've watched every time that he's anxious, he holds his breath. And he's formed a pattern of holding his breath that he's now formed asthma. So it's really important to become aware of your child's breathing. It's really important to become aware of their thought patterns. So actually ask them, what are you thinking about right now? Now, if they're saying, I feel like I can't do it, then give them the choice and the power to say, how about we erase that thought and replace it? So it's about empowerment. It's about the breathing techniques, teaching them about their own body and teaching them to know where that anxiety comes from in their body. So they recognise it, they can identify it.
And to tell you.
And because children are feeling based. And we're often in a world where we're in our thinking and we're in our doing and we're busy doing our day-to-day tasks, and we come home and kids are in their feeling state, and often it's difficult for us to relate to what's happening for them.
Yeah, I think there's some really great tips there, and I think especially, what age do you offer your courses?
Okay, so we've got two different classes. One is from 5 to 8 and the other is from 9 to 12.
So as young as 5 they can do it. Can they start meditating at that?
Yes, they can.
Young?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
They can. And we also have another program which I'm putting together called The Hero's Journey Begins at Home. Now that program is mainly geared around youth, and it's the 7 kind of rites of passage. And with that, we are working with an Aboriginal Indigenous elder so as to actually take them out into the wilderness, and they do a rites of passage.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful.
So we're really excited about that program.
And get them more connected with the earth.
And get them connected back to the earth, which is what I was saying, which is to know their body, to know their mind, their resilience, and to understand their feelings.
And imagine if you can, to be taught something like that at such a young age, how that's going to affect their life, going forward as adults, because so many of us are trying to learn it, when we've already made all the mistakes. And I think something like this is fantastic. So if people want to get in contact with you and your centre, because I know you do workshops on the weekends, and there's lots going on, not just for kids, for obviously for adults as well.
Correct.
I just had some reflexology there yesterday, and it was amazing. And I know you've got a reflexology school, and you can go and get cheaper sessions, can't you, with the students?
You can. Yeah, we've got the reflexology school, the cranial sacral, and the rebirthing. So, and they have student clinics, so people can actually come and experience those different modalities at a reduced cost.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah, so our centre offers a wide variety of holistic therapies. We also have an open day in January. And in January, people can come along and actually get a mini treatment, and they can hear from a well doctor, a nutritionist, a naturopath, a shaman, and we'll also have Bunalori, the Indigenous elder, who will be there also.
Oh, wow. Well, that sounds fantastic. You have to send me the details, and I'll put them on our Facebook page when it gets closer to the date. Thank you so much for joining us, Sharon, today.
You're welcome.